everyone, so this next video I'm going to demonstrate some basic functions of the Zoll Defibrillator, and then I also want to let you guys know that we have this simulator module that attaches to where you would attach the defibrillator pads. So this would be in place of the defibrillator pads, and then you can push different abnormal rhythms and just take a look at what they look like on the Zoll Defibrillator. I'll go over basic functions as the monitoring function, different shockable rhythms, and pacing. Lastly, I'll show you how to print the test log to make sure a test was completed. Okay everyone, so for the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to connect the simulator module so that you can practice reviewing abnormal rhythms and utilizing the Zoll Defibrillator. So on the right side, there's this red connector. Now in a code situation, this is what gets connected to the defibrillator pads. For simulation, this is where we're going to connect our module. So it just gets connected like this. Okay, so I have my module connected. What I'm going to do is turn on the defibrillator to defibrillate. And what I'm seeing there is whatever I select here on my module. So if I wanted to see some VFib, I can press VFib, and VFib shows on there. If I wanted to see VTAC, there's some VTAC. Atrial flutter, asystole, normal sinus rhythm. So I'll go into each rhythm with a little more detail and just review shockable versus non-shockable rhythms. Also, we'll review cardioversion versus defibrillation. Okay everyone, so once you have the defibrillator pads connected, you can turn the monitor on. We have a couple options here. So we're in monitor mode, so this is monitor only. There's no defibrillating and no pacing. Monitor only. Now for me to get my lead to show up here, I need to change the lead. Right now I have lead 2, which is not connected. So that's these leads over here. If I was to connect those, I would see them on my monitor. But because they're not connected, I don't see them. So what I'm going to do is change the lead, not lead 3. I'm going to change the lead to the pads. So now because I have the pads connected to my simulator, I'm getting the rhythm that's chosen on my simulator, which is sinus rhythm. So that's how we would utilize the monitor function only. Now, in a code blue, we're most likely going to be using defibrillator mode. So that would be this red section over here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is analyze the rhythm. Now, keeping things simple, the machine itself will give you its own interpretation whether it is shockable rhythm or not. So if I just switch it to defibrillator mode and simply hit analyze.
Stand clear. No shock advised. Perform CPR.
So because it's normal sinus rhythm, the Zoll Defibrillator essentially acts as an AED and tells you that no shock is advised. Okay guys, so now let's take it up a step where there is a shockable rhythm. So I attach my pads, I turn it to defibrillator mode, and we're getting some VFib. If I didn't know what VFib was, I can simply hit analyze.
Stand clear. Press
it's telling me that shock is advised. So I can shock by pressing the red button. If I need to adjust the joules per ACLS protocol or what's written on our sheets at the bedside, I can just move up or move down. Let's say it's 3 joules. 3 joules, I charge it. It's gonna charge. When it's ready, I got my red light and I make sure everyone's clear. Press shock. Alright guys, now let's talk about VTach. Let's say I come on, I attach my monitor, my pads, I turn it to defibrillator, and it says VTach. That's significant or classic VTach on the monitor. I can hit analyze, it's going to say VTach shock advised. Now, the thing we want to know here is if there's a pulse or no pulse. If there is no pulse, you simply charge it. Let's say we need to charge to 3 joules. Charge, everybody clear, and then shock. Okay? Now let's say I connect it. I got my VTach, and there is a pulse. Doctor says let's cardiovert, or per PALS, we would cardiovert. So based off of our PALS protocol and what's written on our sheets, we select the joules. Let's say it's 10 joules for whatever weight the patient was. And then I want to hit this sync button in the bottom right corner. I'm going to sync it. And if you notice, I see a little white arrow there that's syncing it. And then I'm going to now charge it. I see that it's synced. Patient has a pulse, that's why we're cardioverting and not straight defibrillating. I'm going to charge it. Everybody's clear, I'm clear, and we're going to shock. Let's run through one just for a quick review. Let's say I turn my defibrillator on. We do a rhythm check, and we're seeing asystole. Now, just for a reminder, I'm going to hit the Analyze button and show you guys.
Stand clear.
Asystole is not a shockable rhythm.
No shock advised. Perform CPR.
Okay, now let's run through one that may require pacing. So I put my defibrillator pads on. I turn my Zoll monitor to defibrillator. And the rhythm I'm seeing is a Brady rhythm. On further review, I can see that my P waves are marching out. And I can also see that my QRS is marching out. But they are completely unrelated to each other. This is what's called third degree heart block and would require pacing. So I'd immediately, per the doctor's discretion or PALS protocol, go to pacer. Now in order to pace, you have to connect the leads. You cannot pace just off of the defibrillator pad reading. You have to connect the leads, and then the defibrillator pads are going to act as your pacer. So I'd connect the leads, and when I connect these leads, I would see that third degree heart block pop up. Once my leads are connected, I set the rate to whatever rate is desired. So let's say the physician says set it to 90. So I set it to 90. And then I start to increase my milliamps. Every time I increase it, what I'm looking to see is capture. And what I mean by capture is when you see a pacer spike followed by a PQRST. So capture would happen, let's say it happens at 60 milliamps. So I see pacer spike, PQRST, pacer spike, PQRST, pacer spike, PQRST. Now, I want to go up 10 more from when I achieved capture. So I was at 60, I'm going to go up to 70. And then I leave it and follow expert consultation or whoever physician is at the bedside. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you is how to print the test log. So we turn it on. You can turn it on at monitor mode. It's going to show report data. You press report data, test log, and I can print the test. So my last test was September 19th at 0600. Print test. And that is my test that everything has been tested September 19th at 6 a.m.